What's your carnal theory?
Hi, everybody. I'm Abba.
And I'm Amanda. And today on Carnal Theory, we're sitting down with Dorine Wijk, who has veered from a more traditional career path to focus on studying and building a wish and gift economy. It's an economy that asks, what is wealth? And we can't wait to dive deeper into this throughout the episode, especially how it relates to sex and relationships. Dorine, thank you so much for joining us today.
Most welcome, Abba and Amanda. I'm happy to be here.
So, Dorine, if you could share the carnal theory you have.
So my theory, it's like a great cliffhanger, what you put there, is my theory is we must create environments where we ask what we need.
Yeah, and that obviously applies to transactions because that is the transaction.
You don't know what to ask for, you don't know how you can transact it.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know if we don't know what we need, we don't know what to ask for, we don't know what we're going to get. It's the other person. If that's not just like a societal standard or a relationship standard, that's going to be very hard to expect our partner to do that in return to us. So yeah, I think that's a really obvious but profound aha. Like, we have to create the environment. That's where it all starts. Yeah,
it starts with create a safe environment where you feel that you can do that. And what you just said, like, it starts with that environment. If we go in how we are like conditioned and programmed in life, is that most of the time is not in that environment. We get just programmed with a mainstream thought on how things should be, and it should probably also work for you then. So you just ask what you have been programmed with and what you think that you need according to the programming, whatever it is, if it's in sex or in your career or in your health or whatever area it is. So then go back to the environment. How can we create an environment where we have that safe space to really dig in what you need instead of what we think that the mainstream needs?
If you're constantly told what you need, then you kind of start to believe that that's what you need. How do you kind of break that pattern or interrupt that belief system and realize that this isn't even what you need? If you're thinking it is what you need, how do you realize that? How do you break that and interrupt that?
I think what you just said is like, if you are so conditioned and told that it is what you need, it's like also indoctrination, and all the media system and all the education is like in that framing. And how do you know that? I think for everyone that's different, but it starts with observe and challenge. Is this something I need, or is this something what I have been taught? Mm-hmm. And I think a universal, but that's an assumption I make, but I believe I have, is we all deep down feel when it doesn't flow or when it doesn't work for you. Mm-hmm. And we are so strongly programmed that we ignore all of that signals. Like, I had to hit like 2 depressions, 2 burnouts to really find out like, hey, maybe the path I'm walking is not not programmed as what I need. And so we are so, like, that's the beauty of a human. We are so determined, and we're so like, we can really get things, but also ignore the things we really, which is basically saying like, hello. And we just ignoring them because like, no, this is what we have been trained to. So we have to do this, we have to achieve this, we have to go there.
I think often it's, there's this misunderstanding between, for me, what I've witnessed is like generational misunderstandings, just because I interact a lot with like my parents' generation, and they see our generation as like, you're so focused on like self-care and self-love, and you're so self-focused, and that they're seeing it as selfish. But the reality is, and I think, and you've said this before in previous talks you've given, that when we do better for ourselves, we do better for the world. And so it's a process of determining like what you need so you can be better suited to support others. Is that kind of how you see it?
Yeah, and I think it's interesting that you bring up your parents, because, and that's why I want to understand how it defines society and also in history, because what we need today is not what we need, maybe not what we need tomorrow, and also what we didn't need yesterday. So you grew up probably in America, I'm making an assumption, but like, and put it in generation here in Europe, people who were growing up after World War had a whole different need than we have a need today. So we are now in the luxury position to challenge what we have built. And people always say to me like, yeah, but you are challenging money and like that's bad. I said, no, it did bring us at a certain point. And I think that we lost the connection and the harmony in between both worlds, because we saw that this is working for our needs in that period of time, and so we like over make that efficient, and we know how to control that, because basically it's a form of control. And then the downside, and that's the generation like we are facing here probably today, is like, hey, but this is not how I want to live my life, so let's change it again. So I think on a fundamental level, also if we are going that deep in a philosophy, we want to control the outside world, and I think that maybe we need a little bit more let go of, we cannot control it. We cannot control nature. We cannot control, and as humans we have been so far by doing what we are doing, and I think it's a fine line between doing good for profit and doing good for harmony. And I think that's like what we have to challenge, like, and observe, like, okay, when do we cross it and how do we get back? And that's only that, like, also having the guts to let go of something which worked in the past and now say like, okay, it did bring us here and now we're going to change it because it doesn't bring us further.
So let's start to pivot towards more sex and sexuality in this realm.
Let's talk about sex.
How do you see sex coming into play in a transactional form with needs and desires? Kind of more related to what you were saying in your theory.
I think when it comes down to sex, and when I was just taking the shower and I was thinking about how we would, of course I knew that you were asked this question, I was thinking about, we are programmed with so many different scripts, and we are living a script we have programmed with. And it's the same for sex. Like, we are programmed with a script, and whatever your script program is, if it's through education or to porn or to stories of friends or whatever, we are living, or not living, we are playing a script. And if you're playing a script, we are not tuning into what I need. So recently I was like having sex, and it was like, I was really aware in that moment, like, oh, normally I would now think like, I have to give you back this. Like, you give me oral sex, I have to give you back oral sex. Like, how many times like the man push your head down and like, okay, now it's time to go there. But if that's what the other person don't really want, then I'm playing my script, but I'm not tuning into his or her needs, whatever the situation is. And vice versa also for myself. So how it's coming back to sex, if I don't know what I need first, and I'm just playing a script what I have been picked up somewhere, whatever that somewhere is, then you will probably not get what you really need, and you are not giving what you can give what the other person needs.
Yeah, you're not being present.
No.
Yeah. And how do you tune into those things? I feel like communication is often one of the things that people talk about. At My Sex Bio, we talk a lot about reflection, journaling, meditating. How do you tune into those things?
I think the list what you just said, it starts with being aware for yourself, like what is your need, and feeling what is working for you and what is working not for you. And what is working today for me I can be having a whole different need tonight, because then I am in a different mood and I want something different. communication is of course really important, but it starts also with internal communication. How are you communicating with yourself about this topic how you when you are expressing it external.
I think that also just
sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Go.
I think that really hits home what your theory is. If you don't have that environment set up to where you can ask for what you want,
you deliver what you
it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And that environment includes both with yourself as well as in whatever relationship or relationships you might be in. Dorine, could you share one more time the theory that you've brought?
We must create environments where we ask what we need for. Not need for, but we ask what we need.
Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. We hope this episode's given you something further to reflect upon, and we really hope that you reach out to us with any questions or insights. And you can do that on our Instagram page at Carnal Theory. And also definitely go check out Wish and Gift, which Dorine is working on. You can do that at wishandgift.org. And you can check out the things that she is researching more at her LinkedIn. Thank you for being here, Dorine.
Thank you for having me.
Carnal Theory is produced by My Sexual Bio. Our sound design is by Audrey Cohane, and our theme music by Min the Universe. My Sexual Bio is an educational platform built to empower people like you to take command of your sexual biography. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, and Spotify at My Sex Bio. Visit our website and join our e-letter at mysexbio.org and support our work by joining our Patreon. Thank you.